Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Thursday, June 12th, 2014. I am making this a little more personal today just because Don and I are traveling. We've seen some things, a couple of things that I want to comment on. At some point, we'll probably get a lot more deeply into this, maybe in a Pearls of Liberty episode, but there have been a few things that we've noticed that are really, unless you travel around and see things that are out of your everyday experience, you just might not notice. We were in Bowling Green, Ohio a couple days ago, and I lived there for some time, and it's a college town, but a lot of the old buildings have been torn down, and they're even in the process of taking out Fraternity Row, which is a collection of beautiful old brick buildings, and they're going to replace them. And this is new, Stroh Center. This is a new athletic building. A huge portion of the new buildings they're building are either for athletics or for health. They put in a huge new health center, and it's obvious traveling around a little bit that government money is being invested in two things right now. Probably more, of course, security, spying, and all that, but invested in education and invested in health. Okay, that's a misnomer. Invested in the educational system and the health system. People are not becoming educated, nor are they becoming healthy. And these, of course, this is control mechanism to use the health system and the educational system to control people and keep people in line. Another thing that we noticed is urban blight. We passed through Dayton, Ohio, and this is what was at one time, probably, I don't know what stores were here, I'm not that familiar with Dayton, but this huge shopping center just completely deserted. And we were at a little health food store here in a separate building, and they seem like they're doing okay, but really look at it. I mean, this whole place just imploded. And economically, you can see how people are struggling. For people who are baby boomers, you travel around, and it's just so obvious how much things have changed in this country. And of course, we all know that it was done intentionally. Ian Garland sent me an update by email, and I published it on Fast and Furious Justice Now. And there's so much talk about the potential for impeachment with some of the newer issues with Obama. These older issues like Fast and Furious have not been resolved. They've only been glossed over. There are still glaring problems with things that our government, well, and I use the term loosely, has done. And I appreciate this update from Ian, and you can read about how he's, of course, having a difficult time obtaining justice and vindication. He's out of jail. He's free to some extent. Still limited where he can live, where he can go, what he can do, and is still struggling, basically. I'm addressing this issue that the Food Babe introduced on Alex Jones yesterday. Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors, tell us what's in your beer. And this is also personal for me. I'm not a beer drinker. I do drink alcohol, but I'm not much of a beer drinker. And we were with some friends, some old friends, on Tuesday evening, and I was just feeling like I'd rather drink beer than wine because it's less likely to feel the effects of that. I thought. I had 3 beers, 2 were Blue Moons, and 1 was a Corona. I woke up Wednesday morning feeling very toxic, very, very, very toxic. And nothing that I had done really explained that except for the beer. So I don't know even which of the beers it was, but the Food Babe and Alex Jones did mention yesterday that Corona has changed. It was Alex who said that he had noticed that Coronas were not the same quality that they used to be. So, as it turns out, we health-conscious people move away from sodas. What are you going to drink? Well, of course, there is kombucha, which is my top choice. But we also get some organic wines and occasionally some high-quality liquors. Beer is crossed off the list for us for the time being. Although, of course, local microbreweries that still brew beer. Beer is traditionally a very healthy food. In fact, there's an amazing documentary that's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but is real facts, called How Beer Saved the World. And beer is food when it's real beer and doesn't have a bunch of additives. But evidently now they add high fructose corn syrup to some beers, and it's not even beer, it's kind of like imitation beer, but it's not, the production of beer is not monitored, it's not under the jurisdiction of the FDA for some reason, it's under the jurisdiction of the Treasury Department. And they have not done a good job at all of watching over, fulfilling their commitments, their obligations to make sure the product is what it purports to be. So the Food Babe is calling them on the carpet. And Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors, tell us what's in your beer. There is a petition that you can sign. And because, these huge media giants pick up these issues from the Food Babe, I sometimes wonder if they are diversionary tactics. But because I experienced this thing with beer the very day that she was on Alex Jones, I have to see that as some kind of a divine appointment and certainly give attention to this. My good news of the day is that there are still lightning bugs after having lived in the East for some time and then lived in the West for some time. Lightning bugs is one of the things I really miss about the East. So I'm using that for the clothes for the She Who Will Walk in the Dark. I did a little video of some lightning bugs. You may know them as fireflies, or perhaps you've never seen them if you live in the West. They are one of the great miracles. If you didn't know that they were bugs, you would just think that it was pure magic. And it is pure magic, even though they are bugs. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and enforce the Bill of Rights.